Hi, my name is Dara Dietz, and today I want to spend a little time talking about bladder issues, mainly incontinence. I get a lot of questions, a lot of concern, especially from older women or pregnant women with urgency issues. They gotta go now, and usually by the time they get the feeling that they gotta go, it's pretty much too late. There are things that we can do to deal with urgency issues. This can be caused because of a bacterial infection or bacteria, bladder infection. These type of issues will cause the urgency. Once the infection work is done and the bacteria issues are cleared, the urgency will go. In the meantime, there are things that we can do to stop the urgency and stop the spasms, the bladder spasms, which are causing the urgency to be. All this comes from the urine being so acidic that it's causing the walls of the bladder to spasm. What we want to do is neutralize the acidity, and two of the best herbs for neutralizing acidity are juniper berry and cranberry. And drinking that down when that hits the bladder is going to neutralize the acidity, which will stop the urgency, and in the case of a bladder infection, that burning pain, the discomfort of the bladder infection will be cleared up with the juniper berry cranberry nutrients. When they hit the bladder, they will neutralize the acidity. Now, cranberry that you buy at the grocery store, those cranberry juices, they're not going to work. They've been pasteurized. The nutrients and nutrition in them is pretty well gone. If it's not tart, if it's not very close to natural, you can get a cranberry syrup at most health food stores, which is a very syrupy concentrate of cranberry, where you would take a couple tablespoons or a tablespoon or so and add that to a glass of water, and that will tend to neutralize the acidity, and it will be quite tart when you drink it. It's got no sweetener to it. You don't want to put any in it. Juniper berry adds octane to what the cranberry can do, so taking some juniper berry capsules or something like that that's going to work alongside with the cranberry would be excellent. Over the years, I've made a formula, put one together, which has worked really well. Juniper berry, cranberry, corn silk, and uva ursi tend to work very good. I've always called it my bladder comfort formula. And this will just take away the acidity and the pain of a bladder infection, which was why I put it together for my own bladder infections. And by the time in 45 minutes or so, when it washes through the bladder, the urgency will be gone, and the burning when you urinate will be neutralized so that the pain is not there. That works very well for the spasms. I have found that lobelia works beautifully. When I have had to deal with bladder spasms, the urgency issues myself, I have taken a dropper full of lobelia in my mouth when I urinate, and that will just prevent the spasming, prevent the issues. You want to go to the cause of the urgency, which would be the acidity or bacterial issues, whatever. If you've got a bladder infection, you need to deal with that. But between the a bladder comfort formula with the juniper berry and cranberry, and using the lobelia for the spasms, you can usually take and deal with the incontinency. The thing that you can do to rebuild the bladder, if the incontinency is because of weakened muscles or weakened tissue in the area, the tissues become weak, and the muscular tone of the bladder has gotten weak, the kidney bladder, a kidney bladder formula combination with the herbs that will tone the bladder and the tissues there, tone them and rejuvenate them, is very helpful. Let's take a look at what the kidneys are. And just spend a little bit of time understanding the renal system and the kidneys. Dr. John Christopher provided an excellent understanding of what the kidneys are and how they function. The duties of the kidneys can best be described as filters. They filter the blood. There is no bypass around them. There is no way around. The blood has to go through the kidneys and be filtered. A lot of people don't realize that the veins and vessels in the kidneys are about the width of a hair of your head. So when there is pus or sediment in the kidneys, it gets blocked up and will cause the blood pressure to raise. One of the reasons for high blood pressure is blockages in the kidneys, because the heart then has to pump so hard to get the blood through these filters that are all clogged up. So one of the things that we can do on a regular basis to keep these filters clean and clear is to use our apple cider vinegar. A tablespoon in a glass of water once or twice a day is an excellent aid, and that will just help keep the pus and sediment out of the kidneys. Your blood flows constantly through your kidneys to be purified or filtered. You might be surprised to learn that more than 500 grains of waste matter, acid and poisons have to be removed from the blood through the kidneys every 24 hours. You can easily see, therefore, that on this filtering and eliminating depends your health to a very great extent. Let the kidneys fail to function properly, and nature will call your attention to it right away. You will feel depressed and tired, restless at night, and pains in the back will show up. There might be scanty urine or a desire to urinate frequently. Your head will ache, and many other aches and pains will begin making their appearance. You really cannot be surprised that you do not feel well. Just figure, your kidneys will do only half the work and eliminate only 250 grains of waste. What will become of the other 250 grains? They will be carried back into your blood and poison your system. Watch therefore your kidneys and deal with even minor irregularity promptly. To avoid trouble, be careful with your diet. Americans consume daily 80 grams of meat or nearly 3 ounces more of protein, thus attempting to dispose of about 35 grams more than we have capacity for. This overload gradually smashes the kidneys and throws them out of commission. Our kidneys cannot talk. They just have to stay mum until 101 bodily disorders start us looking around for some mysterious cause of serious trouble. Then, as a rule, it is too late to apologize to the kidneys. And I can definitely say that through the years when my kidneys were very sensitive, I could not eat any meat at all. Animal products would set them off. I would be achy. My back would just be in spasms within just a few hours of eating any type of animal product. If you do have kidney issues, you might want to consider dropping the animal products until you strengthen your kidneys and clear up the issues that are in them. An excellent morning drink for clearing the kidneys and keeping the pus and sediment down is lemon juice, apple cider vinegar, and some cayenne. I call it hot lemonade. If you can afford and want to put your honey or maple syrup into that, it's an excellent tasting drink also. I take it plain without the sweetener, but the sweetener is fine. This is going to work as a filter, as a cleaner for the filter. The apple cider vinegar and the lemon juice just help clear the pus and sediment out of the kidneys. So if you're dealing with high blood pressure issues or overall kidney stone issues, your body makes kidney stones on a regular basis, or you've ever made one and don't want to make another one, the apple cider vinegar, I get a big 32-ounce glass myself, but you could do it in a 24-ounce or 16-ounce. You just add your water and then add a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, a teaspoon of cayenne, and lemon juice to taste. And you would just drink that. If you want to add your maple syrup in or your honey and stir that in for sweetener, it's actually very pleasant and a wonderful way to start your day. It's stimulating. The cayenne will just wake you up. It's better than any cup of coffee. So consider that once or twice a day, especially if you do make kidney stones. This is going to be very helpful for eliminating the sediment that creates and goes into making kidney stones.